Hey my sweets, and welcome to Walkthrough Wednesday. Today we are doing the Wild Unknown Tarot. Don't forget to stay tuned after the walkthrough for our midweek reading, and I will see you on the other side. So the Wild Unknown Tarot, you guys, let's start with the guidebook. This is a meaty guidebook, as in it is pretty thick. I love the outside, it's that matte finish, which is always really scrumptious. But as far as the inside goes, there's a few, what to ask, there's a few spreads, but you'll see there's not much to the descriptions. They are really good for being so short, but there's not so much substance there, but it's a good companion to have. I have tabs on mine to see where my suits are. You can hear that it's a nice sturdy box. It's got a nice inside. It has the ribbon. That way you can pop the cards out, which I always love when they have those. Now, all of this came, because this is mass produced, this all came in a really big box, which you can see here. Now, it's got this kind of magnetic closure. It's got the ribbon in, but you'll notice when I turn it to the back, like I have this saved and it's still really kind of scuffed up. The black just doesn't hold up very well. As far as the size goes, it's standard tarot size. You can see when I put it together that it's a tad bit thinner, but for the most part, it's exactly the same. So it is a great size deck. The cards, you guys, this is so hard for me to review because I have such mixed feelings and I feel like I just can't get them out fast enough. So let's just jump in. This deck is beautiful. The line work that Kim Krans does is phenomenal. The way that she uses color in this deck is fantastic. It portrays what she's trying to get across and nothing more. I feel like her use of that is absolutely divine. Nothing more, nothing less than what you need. I appreciate the fact that it is an animal-based deck, a nature-based deck. There's nothing human about it. However, the more I read with this deck, the more disconnected I feel, the more it falls flat for me. And that's sad because I loved it so much. The situations, as minimal as they are in the pips, I call them pips because I feel like they are pippish. As minimal as these situations are, like there's still a nod to the Rider-Waite, and I really like that. And I love the way that those are portrayed in the animalistic way. However, some of her portrayals of the more pippish cards are hard to read, and I'm going to show you the prime example at the very end. What I don't care for in this deck at all are the court cards. I understand and appreciate what she did, though. I will say that, because they're easy to pinpoint and they use the same animals, right? So all the swords are owls, which are air and wisdom, and it's perfect. However, I just don't connect with them, and the wands that you're seeing are why. They're like the main one I don't like. I feel like they're way too aggressive. The Daughter of Wands I'm okay with, but all the other three, they're too much. I feel like it's such an aggressive energy. I don't like when they come up for me or in a reading. I don't like them. Overall, I feel like they read well. I've read for myself and for clients, but they're just not my favorite anymore. The more I read with them, like I said, I just feel a disconnect. Like I don't feel like they are what I need anymore, if that makes sense. So now to the shuffling, though. The cardstock itself is really great. You can see there's no trouble bending. They're not too thick. And they don't really wear down, because I've shuffled and used these quite a bit, and there's really no wear on them. Okay, here you go. This is what I mean by some of them are hard to read. I lose the Six of Swords every single time because it looks like a wand to me. The way that she does this tangling of wands, you can see I put down the 10. You can see she does this tangle of wands, and she does the same thing with this sword, and it's really hard to see that they are swords. So that's what I mean by some of them are kind of hard to read, the way that she draws them. So that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. On to my favorites. I do not have a favorite court card in this deck. Sorry, guys. But my favorite major arcana is the Wheel of Fortune. I love the look of these strings put together in this almost like nest. It reminds me of the raven or crow in The Secret of Nim, building his nest out of yarn. The Three of Swords is one of my favorites because of the dynamic color and the tangled and the blood dripping from the bottom. I love the feel of it. It immediately evokes what it needs to when you see it. The Ace of Pentacles reminds me of just the fire that's within us and what it's creating, something so tangible. I just love the way that it makes me feel when I see it. So those are my favorites for this deck. All right, you guys. So let's get our midweek reading on. Let's go ahead and ask, what challenge will we need to overcome this weekend? So what's the challenge that may be presenting itself at the end of this week? All right. We have the Daughter of Cups. I feel like a shyness, like automatically that's the first thing that pops into my head, the first thing that's just like staring me in the face is this shyness, like almost like this is gonna block you this weekend, or no, this weekend is what I'm getting. I was gonna say, or the end of this week, but this is something about the weekend, is where it feels like this is something that's going to block you and prevent you from getting what you want this weekend. This shyness, it's I don't want to say it's like a put on shyness, because sometimes we do that where it's like, oh well, look at me, I'm so modest and shy. This is not a put on. This is just a shyness where maybe you don't want to speak up. Maybe you don't want to give your opinion about something, but I feel like this is going to be important. Keep your shyness for another day. The things that you need to say need to be said this weekend, because they can have a greater effect than you think. People often talk about the butterfly effect. One simple statement can cause this snowball effect, right? And I feel like if you don't say it, that will also cause a different type of snowball effect, one that could crush someone else, or one that could destroy something that you've been working on. So I feel like it's time to leave that shyness for another day. It may be a challenge to get yourself to speak these words, because that's really where I'm feeling it. This is something that needs to be said. So whatever it is this weekend that needs to be spoken, speak it. Don't let people read between the lines. Don't feel like they're gonna get the hint, because they won't. This is something that needs to be said. So I hope this helps in whatever way, shape, or form for you this weekend. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. You can also drop me some comments. Let me know what you thought about this deck. What are your feelings? Do you have it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Anything else that you want to talk about, make sure that you drop me some comments and let me know. You can find some links below to find me on my Instagram. You can book a reading, find my Etsy, all kinds of good stuff. So I will see you guys very soon, and I'm sending you much, much love. Bye, guys.